Hey cats, what's happening?
Hey beautiful people, happy Friday.
Happy Friday, and we are at the hospital. Big day for us, scary day for us.
Very scary.
Yesterday we spent the day here. Dee was getting her scans.
I had a CT scan of my body, a CT with contrast. They put dye, and I had an MRI with contrast of my brain. So today is the big reveal. We meet with the oncologist to find out if the chemo's working.
So that's what the big deal is today. Big deal for us. So she's been through 3 rounds of chemotherapy. Today we find out, has it worked or has it not worked? So pretty scary stuff. We'll let you know what the result is at the end of this video. But for now, we gotta go to our appointment. So I wanted to show you something upstairs here. This is our loft area up here. And that's where we do most of our living. It's like our family room. And that's where my little cubicle is. It's like where all the magic happens. I got something I wanted to show you. Well, I feel like I know a lot of you guys, not on a real personal basis, but a lot of you guys have been with us for a long time on the video thing. And I just really wanted to thank my viewers, and I gotta show you, this is pretty special. One of the guys that I've been kind of chatting back and forth with for a long time, Al Caspers, he sent me this license plate, and 1999 motorcycle Sturgis rally. My bike's a 99, so that's pretty cool. And I haven't, I've been kind of late on putting this up. He sent me this a little while back, but I just really want to thank you, Al, for sending me this. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it back here on my wall of fame. I think I might do that. He suggested I put it out in the man cave, but I like it, and it means a lot, because it means that you guys are really supportive, and it just reminds me of how thankful and how grateful I am to have viewers like that. Speaking of the wall of fame back here, I know I've had a few questions about that stuff. I thought maybe briefly I'd show you some of this stuff, and there's a story behind almost everything on this wall. This is a wooden toboggan, and an old one. I think you guys know that I have had a career with the park system, and they used to run a iced toboggan chute, and they rented these out. Well, they shut that operation down years ago. They auctioned off the toboggans. I was lucky to get this one. You can see it's there. It's upside down, but it's number 92. One of my old biker hats. It's pretty shredded. Seen its better day. This Beaver Pelt, or Beaver blanket they call it. It's a nice blanket, nice big blanket. A buddy of mine was a nuisance trapper, and he trapped this. Some people had a ditch or a canal behind their place, and the beaver had dammed up and made a flood there. So he went and trapped the thing. This thing was over 70 pounds. It was huge. And then he told me, he said, hey, if you want this beaver, you can come and get it, and you can get it tanned if you want. If not, he said, I'm just going to throw it out. He said, I don't have time to mess with it. So I picked it up, I got it from him, and I skinned it out myself, and nice round, kind of wrinkled up from being up on the wall there, but it's a great big round blanket, and real soft. Very soft fur on there. Sent it off to get it tanned, and now it hangs up here on the wall. I don't know what to do with it. We had a fundraiser at the biker bar many years ago, and one of the guys there worked in a shop where he did these, made these metal signs with his plasma cutter, and so some of these were raffled off for that fundraiser, and he made this one just for me and gave it to me, so I was pretty thrilled with that. Pretty honored to get that, actually. My very first camera. This is a Voigtlander. It's a really old camera. It was my dad's, and it had the spools of film you had to put in there and wind it every time you took a picture. Black and white photos I took with that. The metal signs I've collected over the years. This one I got from my son-in-law for Christmas, I think it was, a few years back. This wooden rake, this hickory rake here, let me take this beaver thing off of there. You see this hickory rake here, and that's really original. When I was a kid, my dad had a Christmas tree farm, and this was in the barn, and it was an old barn down there, New Philadelphia, Ohio, way back in the middle of nowhere. And you know, it's got the hickory handle, and the little spikes on the rake were all hand carved, so pretty cool. This thing here is a road reflector, old one, probably 1920s, I'm guessing. And I was on a construction job, and it came up, popped up when the bulldozer was pushing the dirt, and I grabbed it. I didn't know what it was, but I cleaned it up the best I could, and I found out there used to be an old trestle that went across the an old, you know, iron trestle type bridge that went across the railroad tracks there, and those were attached to the iron on the bridge, and the car headlights would hit that, and it's like glass, like amber, inside the metal, and that used to light, like reflect, like almost like light up when the headlights hit it. I got these old license plates that I dug up in a dump site that was back in the woods behind the property. 1949 farm. I also found this this Lionel train in an old dump. You know, Lionel on the bottom there. It doesn't work or anything. It's just kind of there for a decoration. The tractor seat found back in the woods. These old lures from my grandfather. Some neat old fishing lures. My grandfather was a fisherman. And now, this was also my grandfather's arrowhead collection. Got the real tiny bird points in there, and then some bigger spear points. This is a knife blade, and then these small things are buttons. And this is a drill, this flat spade thing. So that's pretty, I don't know, pretty cool for me to have. I was pretty grateful to get that from my grandpa. This raccoon here, I was probably like 12 years old, and that raccoon was getting in there into our garden every day and destroying our garden. And I set a trap in the garden, and I caught that thing, and I skinned it and tanned it the best I knew how, and it's hard as a rock, but it's still intact. I must have done somewhat of a decent job of tanning that thing. So the other stuff, I don't know, no big story to it. There was a time back when I used to do the buckskinner thing, and I made this Indian rattle. It kind of hangs there for decoration now. That's about all. So anyway, there's the wall behind the where all the videos are made or edited. Well, the fans have been waiting. We're on our way home from the hospital. What kind of news do you have?
I have good news. Which I didn't expect.
We talked to the doctor, and he showed us these scans, The scans, they actually matched the original scans of her tumors up to the scans that they took yesterday. And most all the tumors are gone. The tumors in her lungs are gone. The tumor in her stomach is gone.
The tumor by my hip, which they were really uncertain at the beginning if it was cancer, but now they know it was, it's gone. The brain tumor, he said, was shrunk to minimal, almost transparent. My lungs opened up compared to the scan in August. You could actually see where my lungs were bigger. So he said all the tumors in my lungs were gone. I'm in disbelief. I'm shaking. I can't even believe it because I expected the worst.
Thank you guys so much for your support, your prayers, and everything. Chemo's still going to continue. Her treatments still have to continue. We have to keep this cancer in check.
3 more chemo rounds, and then I get scanned again.
Yep. So how are you feeling right now?
Still in disbelief. I don't know when it's going to sink in because I really expected the worst. I was prepared for the worst.
But you're still shaking.
I can't stop.
Well, if I can get her home and get her calmed down, I think we might celebrate tonight. Where are we going? Longhorn?
I don't know.
Get that perfect margarita, the filet mignon, the lobster tail. Celebration time, folks. Right now, life is good. You gotta live your life for each moment.